Welcome back to Friday Crypto. Today's Bitcoin daily update, we're going to look at consolidation ranges and on the daily chart. So for Bitcoin, let's jump right in. Right now, right? We're just sideways, right? A consolidation pattern. What are we doing? Are we going to go up, or are we going to do the opposite? And are we going to break, right through this way? So how will we know? Well, no one's got a crystal ball, right? We don't know what the future is going to hold, but the likelihood of us continuing downwards with a daily candle close below this line, right? Below this daily close, right? That's our lowest close, 18,948, right? If we close under that, the odds just improve of us going, further down, right? So for last time, right? Look back there, right? So we closed right here below our lowest close, right? So the odds improved and we actually followed through. Now, it's not enough just to get that first close. We need a follow-up candle, right? So you'd want to see that second one turn bearish as well for more downside continuation. So if you're a bear and you want to, go down to lower prices, you want to see a daily close down and then good follow through. If you're a bull, you would like to see if we do get, say, we get one candle close and it closes like 18.6, right? That's our lowest close. But if the very next candle comes back up and is a bullish engulfing candle, then that was perhaps a fake out, and we might have more of a rally or whatever to the upside. Now, looking at the other side of the coin, if we bounce here, which it seems like we're doing so far today, we have a lot of work to do because not only do we have to get through, one, two big key moving averages, right? The 21-day EMA, the 8-day EMA. You can see the Bollinger Bands here, which we'll look at and talk more in just a moment. But if we, get up to this top side, right, look at what we also have to do. We have to get through the top of the Bollinger Band. So this is going to have to open, right? So in order for us to close above 22.5, because that's the number, right? That's our highest close after the initial fall. That's where you'd really like to clear. We tried to do it again, July 8th. Rejected, right? So if we try it again, we need to close above 22.5. And if we do that, then what? The odds simply improve of us continuing up. And there's not a whole lot holding us back from 22.5 all the way up to 28. So we could make a nice little run if that event occurs and we do kind of continue the snake motion here, right? So let's see what we do. Are we going to do that, or are we going to break it? So just watch for that, and you'll be a step ahead, right? So let's take off all those the boundaries, right? And then look at the Bollinger Bands. Let's see what we got going. So if prices are going to go down, which are they or not? Well, we don't know yet. Well, like I said, you want to be watching the Bollinger Bands. If the top line right here, see how it's curving down now? That's no big deal, right? It doesn't look like it's trying to go down just yet. Look at how this opened up on the top, right? That's what you got to be wary of. If you get a price action at near the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, and then you see that top line opening, you're in trouble. if you're a bull, right? Bears, that's what you exactly want to see, right? You have to have the mouth open, right? You have to have divergence away from each other on the Bollinger Bands. This is not a power move out of either the bulls or the bears. See how they're like kind of following each other? No, that's not what you want to see for a more concrete move, right? You want open mouth. So right now, still consolidation is the name, and this could continue for a while. I mean, we continued this one for a while as well, right? So let's go back and let's look at how long that one was and see if we might do something like that, right? History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So after our kind of initial fall right there, right, we went sideways let's get it going right here. So we went roughly, roughly a month, right, until our fall down again. So there's our, our low here, and now we're approaching, right? We're approaching maybe another couple days here, maybe towards the end of this week, if we repeat something similar, right? But seems to, just keep falling down the stairs. Eventually, we're going to have to climb back up the stairs. So is this the moment? Well, we do have a nice attempt at a potential bottom pattern. And what I mean by that is you have a foundation here, 1 hit mark, 2 hit marks, and 3 hit marks so far, right? So if you can go with me on this for just a moment, let's go look at this, right? You draw a line, right? Then you have like the golden arches, right? You got the golden arches. Only this one is usually good for you when you hit the for a bull, right? So you have these big stable bases that you're looking to build. Now each time we hit this, yeah, it's getting a little bit weaker, and the odds are starting to go up that we break through it. But forming a nice bottom, this is kind of what you want to look for. Multiple tests and holds. So if we continue back up and then we print this new high and we take out like 20, if you get back to 22.5 or something like that, and you see us continuing up here, that would be an excellent sign. And that could be at least a macro level temporary bottom that would likely hold for the next several months. So that's what we want to be looking for. Now, both sides of that. Okay. So, there's evidence for both bulls and bears. It depends on your bias. I would always recommend, looking at the most evidence for the bulls, looking at the most evidence you can for the bears, and then whoever has the most evidence, usually that's the bias you want to be on, and not something to fit your own narrative and your mind that you made up, right? Stop with that, and you'll be much more successful in what you do in your trading. So just follow that. Realize that if we close under, a 19K again, we're more likely going down. If we break above 22.5 again, we're probably going up and these are relatively short term, right? This is for the next several weeks ahead if one of these levels is broken, right? The macro scale, let's zoom out to the weekly right quick. And you can see the Bollinger Bands on the weekly. We've already been outside of them. Now we're in the consolidation. So, based on Bollinger Bands, once you hit the bottom, it likes to at least test the median line. That doesn't mean we have to go up here, right? The median line in a couple of weeks will be trending down week over week, right? So we could actually end up running into it at a relatively same prices that we are now, right? So imagine these two lines, right? This is EMA 8, the weekly EMA 8. So we might just run into this and then get rejected down, around August, right? August 1st. See that? So that could be kind of the line in the sand that we're looking for. Or, maybe something happens and we start printing, moving up, and then we test the median Bollinger Band here, which will probably likely be also very near to the 21 week, right? See, these are probably going to trend sideways around 25K probably, which would also coincide to our kind of initial bottom there, right? So maybe we end up having this kind of like fake out rally and then move down towards the early fall or something like that. So one of those two moves, just throwing that out there to kind of paint a bigger picture. But that's the weekly picture on Bitcoin USD. So quote of the day: we first make our habits, and then our habits make us. One of the great quotes. Great one there. You decide what you want to do, and then that will become a habit, and whether or not it's good or bad is on you. Car of the day: the Dodge Viper. We have Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 we're going to look at. So this is Gen 1, the first one they ever came out with. I was really still just a teenager when this came out. I loved it. They had basically this and the Corvette. That was like the American kind of muscle cars back then. Obviously there were still Mustangs, but I feel like the Viper and the Vet were just like in a league of their own back in this era, right? Late 90s. And then you had Gen 2, which looked much more aggressive to me, right? Look at the hood, right? They kept a little bit true to the side vents, but going back to the original one, I mean, this is just it's still to this day looks great in my opinion. For styling, these are amazing to see even now, 25 years later. Looks great. They kind of kept true to their looks, a little bit more aggressive. And then Gen 3, that's the current one, right? That's out, just came out, a handful of years ago, 5 years ago or so. The ACR version of this, which is like the racing is insane. Look at that. So that looks great, but I feel like they went a little bit wayward with the headlights. They kind of broke tradition on that. The hood and everything else, I'm in agreement with. I think they kept the roof scoop. See how the signature kind of the bump and the aerodynamic roof. The door's still the same. I love that. But you can see the evolution of these. Pretty amazing. I still think this might be my all-time favorite, and I'm probably biased with that because that was the first one I ever really liked. But what do you think? One, two, or three? They did make a like copper in this one. It's called like Copperhead or something. It was amazing color. If I ever got one, I'd probably this is probably my least favorite, so I wouldn't get that one. I like that one or the newer ones, obviously, but you pick these up for pretty cheap now. Maybe 20 to 40K depending on mileage and stuff. That's not bad for a Viper. I know it's still relatively expensive, but you can find a good one. Nice big muscle car to tool around in. Whatever. I'll stop rambling. All right, one more bonus if you're still here. And I mentioned this in my Telegram groups occasionally, but Forex Factory, it's a free site. Forex, you can see it on the top left there, right? Go here, forexfactory.com, and then you can get all like the trading pairs, right? This is the kind of DXY index, right? Compares the Euro USD, the Great British Pound, the Yen, right? And then not only that, but it has the events of each day, and you can find out before really the news does. You can find out as it's happening. So like today, the CPI, right, right there, it comes out right on the number, right dot early. So maybe that'll help you in the future. But yeah, go check that out. It's got a ton of stuff on there. You can find all kinds of things. It's just on the calendar, right? And then you get this, it'll pop up. You can go to days. You can look what's ahead in the weeks, right? You can look at what's coming tomorrow, right? We have PPI coming up tomorrow. It's a pretty serious thing. Anything in red, obviously, is more important. Yellows, whatever. And then you can look at the euro. What's like? You see that? So red is most important. That's what I would stick to. Core retail sales on Friday, right? And these can greatly sway markets, right? So this is probably in your best interest to stay up on. So I would be looking at that. If you haven't ever, go check it out. Forexfactory.com. Appreciate you staying around this long if you have. Thumbs up if you've forgotten. And I will see you on the next video.